Now to get out pending his trial, and his attorneys say they can't prepare. What's going to happen? What does this all mean? Let's bring back in our think tank Lawrence Zimmerman. What's the solution here? You've got someone who can't read, and the defense trying to prepare the case, and the judge wants to go forward. Prosecutors want to go forward.
Yeah, actually, interesting, Vinny. I just argued the same thing 3 weeks ago in federal court. I have a client. We have a trial coming up, much smaller case. It's 2 days long, but I asked the court to release them because it'd be hard for me to prepare. Because, with the virus at the jail, it's not very easily socially distant. It's a tough situation because Kelly has some very serious charges, so obviously they think he's a flight risk. I think there's lawyers who have to work through it somehow the best they can and find a big room where in the jail where they could spread out so they're not too close and go over the discovery, read it to them. Send the law clerk down there to read it to them. You just got to take precautions. I mean, I get it. I made the same argument a few weeks ago. It was denied.
Yeah, Michelle, we're living in a different world, but R. Kelly, I mean, the rest of his life is hanging in the balance. He's got a great defense team, but his defense team says they can't do their job.
And when I heard this story, I couldn't help but think of all of the defendants that I've represented in Texas who also couldn't read and write. It's a sad truth. If you have ever worked in the criminal justice system, you have seen it, and it is a problem. But we cannot release every person who cannot read and write, and we certainly can't apply different rules to people who have more money and more resources like R. Kelly. And that's one of the real problems I see with this, is if they let him out because he can't read and write and it will help his defense, then they need to do that for every individual, including indigent people. And that's going to set a tough precedent.
Vinny, they could probably
Eklund, what's the solution here?
The solution here, it's unfortunate because as my colleague said, as all my colleagues said, it's a big problem, and we have it often. This particular case is very document loaded. You have a whole bunch of depositions, a whole bunch of transcripts that you are going to need to really delve deep. As you can see with the interview with Gail, probably he didn't get the questions beforehand, hence why he had the outburst later. You have a volatile client. You have a big case. He's going to have to testify many times. He's going to need to be able to be prepped correctly. And it's hard when it's a struggle when you have somebody who can't read. So it's a very creative argument. I do not believe it's going to work, as I've tried it a few times and crashed and burned often.
All right. When we come back, folks, another case. This is a wild one out of Baltimore, Maryland.